What is up, everybody? Hopefully y'all had a successful year on the golf course in 2024, but there's always room for improvement. My name's Aaron, I'm a professional club fitter, and in today's video, I'll be going over 5 ways that you can improve your golf game for next year and hopefully get that handicap to wherever you want it to be. And don't worry, none of these tips are gonna be dropping $3 grand on a new set of clubs. Everything's gonna be reasonably priced, if not free. I'm also gonna include things that you can do on your own without too much extra stuff. So without further ado, here we go, let's get into it with my first tip. Starting off here with number 1, we got spending more time on the putting or chipping green. Now look, it's no secret that for most of us, it's a lot more fun to go to the range and beat balls, beat drivers and long irons for an hour than it is to spend an hour on the putting green. But when it comes to actually shaving strokes off your game, more of it's done on the putting green and within 100 yards than off the tee. So 2 pieces of advice from me would be 1, get a putting mat or some sort of putting device like this one. Second would be creating a routine that you can commit to consistently. For me, I like to toss my AirPods in, listen to some music, kind of zone out a little bit, start with some 3 to 5 footers and eventually move on to some longer putts and maybe some chips and bunker shots. Now, as far as the routine itself, it doesn't matter too much as long as you're getting your work in. Just make sure it's something that you can commit to consistently and continuously work on so you can actually improve on your short game. Because if you can improve with the flat stick, I guarantee you're gonna see your scores lower, maybe quicker than you expected. Number 2 is gonna be figuring out distances with your irons. Now, in a lot of my fittings and just a lot of people that I talk to about golf, they'll say, oh, my pitching wedge goes 120, my 7-iron goes 150 yards, my 4-iron goes 200 yards, my driver goes 250 yards. These are all really round numbers that most of the time are not exactly right. It's a huge benefit to have an exact dialed distance for each club. For example, I hit my 7-iron stock 187 to 189 yards. Now, is that perfect every time? Absolutely not. But if I mishit it by 3 yards, that brings in 184 yards on the low end to 192 yards on the high end. If I don't know my number exactly, or my distances exactly, and I say my 7-iron goes 180 to 200 yards, and I'm 3 yards off, that brings in 177 yards to 203 yards. And that's a way, way, way too big of a difference. It kind of goes along with the saying aim small, miss small, and it can be the difference between a long putt and the dreaded bunker shot that nobody really wants. So my number 2 tip is gonna be get those iron distances dialed in. My number 3 tip is a pretty straightforward one, and it's just get a lesson. I think one lesson from a high-level instructor could really, really help the high majority of golfers. Now I'm gonna come at some people here, but your buddy who you started playing golf with and shoots 3 to 5 strokes better than you, he doesn't count. Do your research, go to someone who does it professionally, take notes, take videos, remember all the drills, and remember all the pointers that they give you throughout the lesson. Then when you're done with the lesson, don't just forget about it. Actively practice it on the range. Remember those drills that he gave you. Do them on the course. You don't have to get a swing coach. You don't have to get even more than one lesson. Just really pay attention in that one lesson you do get. Tell that instructor, whoever it is, what you struggle with most on the golf course, and just let them take over from there. Number 4 is gonna be for my golfers that are kind of plateauing and have kind of struggled to get to that next scoring milestone. Whether you can't seem to break 70, 80, 90, 100, whatever it may be, next time you go out, try playing from the forward tees. This is something that Bryson has talked about before, and I'm a believer as well. I've tried it, I like it a lot. Chances are you'll score better, and it kind of just reassures yourself that going low is okay. It's also a way to reassure yourself that you are able to shoot a certain score, whatever it may be. And listen, there are days where I've gone out and I've tried to do this, I've played from the forward tees, and I don't shoot any better than I do from the back tees. And listen, that's okay. It's more about, kind of learning your game and where you need to improve the most. This is just one really great way to help you get over that hump and get to that next milestone, whatever it may be for you personally. My 5th and final tip, last but certainly not least, is a really, really simple one. It's just this: focus on having more fun. Golf is a game built on mistakes, and you're not gonna have your A game every round. Every once in a while, we need to take a step back, remind ourselves that we're not professionals, we're not getting paid to play this game, and it's okay to have a bad day on the course because it's better than a good day somewhere else. We have the privilege of being in God's creation. It's a beautiful place. Most of the time, we're surrounded by our friends, and if we take ourselves and the game a little bit less serious, chances are we'll have a little bit more fun, and hey, maybe the scores will get a little bit better too. That's it from me, guys. Thanks for sticking around, and let me know what your goals are in 2025. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. And until next time, peace out.